Hello everyone and welcome back to Football News. So, back in the 2013-14 season, Liverpool came close to winning the Premier League after 24 years. But they fell short of 2 points and managed to won the Premier League again. Still, the fans were hopeful for better days in the future. But things didn't work out the way they expected. After Suarez's departure to Barcelona, Brendan Rodgers' squad was once again very balanced. The new signings did not really help much, and moreover he had more defensive concerns this season. This led to poor performances by the promising Liverpool side, and finally things turned out so bad that the Liverpool board was finally forced to sack Brendan Rodgers midway in the following season. Arriving at the club, Klopp firstly laid out a fixed system to build his team on. He shifted to a 4-2-3-1 formation, and the team somewhat looked like this. Klopp switched to a build-up phase with a 3-man backline. One of the central midfielders, generally Can, would drop and the fullbacks would move up. The wingers would tuck inside and help in the build-up phase as well. However, if the fullbacks failed to move up and maintain width, then the wingers would stay wide and the midfielders would start moving out. But the basic idea was simple. A few players would drop behind their general line of influence to grab space and create simple passing lanes. The Liverpool wingers, that is Lallana and Coutinho, are not natural wingers and they were more suited by dropping in the central areas. They are very good passers of the ball and often found the forwards behind the defensive line which expelled through walls. In the final third of the pitch, the Liverpool players would always make runs behind the defensive line, and it would be very difficult for the opposition to mark all the runners simultaneously, as one would often drop while the other would make a run in the box. The basic idea was to create and look for spaces wherever possible. Even during those days, Firmino had a pivotal role to play by dropping deeper, while Sturridge stayed up and maintained the high line. Another way Liverpool looked to attack was through long balls. Especially Milner was excellent with his long balls, and he would always look to find Sturridge or Firmino, and the other midfielders would try and win the second ball. By doing this, they could easily get behind the opposition press. Probably the most significant change Klopp brought about in Liverpool was the high pressing system. There were two kinds of pressing system of this Liverpool side: the high press to close down the spaces and the counter pressing on losing possession. The high pressing system was based on closing down spaces. The whole team would press high up the pitch, offering very little space to the opposition players. Whenever an opposition player would find space with the ball, one of the Liverpool players would leave his line and close down the gaps while someone else would cover up for it. Moreover, they often cut out passing lanes by leaving one side of the pitch in their cover shadow while pressing. This rapid closing down of spaces often forced the opposition to make mistakes and lose possession. The second type of pressing is counter pressing or gegenpressing pressing. After Liverpool lost possession of the ball, all the players near the area would rapidly move out of the possession to close down the spaces instantly. This phase goes on for around 5 to 6 seconds after losing possession, and if they fail to recover possession by then, the players return to their original positions. Gegenpressing allows Liverpool to regain possession of the ball in dangerous areas of the pitch when the opposition shape is seriously unbalanced. By giving no time for the transition from defense to attack, the opposition shape is completely ruined, and this makes them vulnerable at the back. According to Klopp, this is the best playmaker of their team, and we can clearly see why. Liverpool have managed to replicate this time and again, which has led to many goals throughout the course of the season. They are even better with this now in 2020, knowing when to press and when to drop back. We will discuss that in a later video. If by any chance the opposition manages to break out of this counter press, then Liverpool are seriously vulnerable at the back. Because of committing too many players to close down the spaces rather than dropping back, they might face the consequence of a dangerous counter-attack, which must be dealt with the last line of defense. However, I must add again that Liverpool have got better with time and are fast fit to the counter-pressing style, knowing when to press and when to drop back. Playing with a 4-2-3-1 formation, Liverpool defended in a 4-5-1 shape or a 4-4-2 shape at times when Firmino or Coutinho stayed up for counter-attacks. But it was mostly a 4-5-1 formation. Playing against a 4-3-3 system meant that Firmino would now cover the outside defensive midfielder, someone who has a pivotal role to play in a traditional 4-3-3. The flanks were covered by the fullbacks with the wide midfielders dropping with the opposite fullbacks, creating a stable 2v2 situation. The two pivots covered the central areas of the pitch and the defensive line was high to narrow down the spaces between the lines. However, at times Liverpool faced a problem when the opponent's forward or attacking midfielder dropped deeper and operated between the two pivots. This player constantly found spaces and caused all sorts of problems to the Liverpool defense. So, whenever this happened, Liverpool switched to a 4-3-3 formation, introducing either Lucas or Henderson in central midfield. This made the defensive structure stronger and allowed the other midfielder more freedom to move high up the pitch. Liverpool didn't finish at a very good spot in the Premier League that season, but managed to go all the way to the Europa League final, where they eventually lost to Sevilla. However, the performances improved a lot. After the first season, the signs were all good. In the next summer window, Klopp got rid of 6 players and brought in Gucic, Karius, Klavan, Matip, Gini Wijnaldum and Sadio Mane. The last 3 were clear successes. Klopp didn't change the philosophy much the following season, but the formation was changed to a 4-3-3 structure, with Wijnaldum having a major role in the team. Eventually, the Klopp philosophy began to reveal itself and each player understood their role better. They finished 4th in the Premier League with 76 points and all the stats were better than the previous season. However, the transfers in the summer of the 2017-18 season changed the Liverpool side completely. Robertson and Salah instantly settled into the system and even Chamberlain started performing him after his long-term injury. Trent Alexander-Arnold started breaking into the first team slowly and he has never looked back since. However, the most significant change that took place was the departure of Philippe Coutinho to Barcelona. He was undoubtedly one of the most important players of the Liverpool side and everyone expected this to be a major blow for Liverpool. But instead, Klopp again showed the world how his team is not dependent on a single player. He signed Virgil van Dijk with a club record fee surprising everyone yet again. They had just lost to number 10, yet he decided to invest 75 million euros on a centre-back. This was one of the best decisions he ever made and it made the team stronger than ever. They made it to the Champions League finals that season and even though they lost out to Real Madrid, their performances were far better. The next season, they would finally be successful and be crowned European champions after 14 years. We will discuss that system in the next video, analyzing what changed throughout the course of the seasons and how sensible transfers in an inflated market helped Liverpool succeed. The next part of the video discussing the current system will be uploaded very soon. Please share the video if you like it and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.